Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gaming with Scott. I am here with Melissa, who is the con chair of Starbase Indy 2016.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. I got a quick question for you. I want to open this up.
Okay.
Just a little thought poser. Of all of the planets that you have experienced in movie, in film, in books, in television, in the sci-fi, doesn't have to be limited to Star Trek, but, of all the planets you know of, which would you want to visit most and why?
I would want to visit Hoth.
Hoth?
That's right.
I was going to ask, you mean Hoth, but there's only one. So, Hoth. Why?
I'm a northern girl. I grew up in Cleveland. I went to college and grad school outside of Erie. I love the snow. I love living here in Indiana, but it's just too darn warm. We haven't really had a real winter to speak of. Well,
like the blizzard of 78 kind of
blizzard
winter?
of 78
you mean a real
kind of winter, right. I mean, we did have a reasonable winter a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wore my heavy scarf.
Oh, nice.
Yes, but...
I'm very pro-scarf myself here.
Oh,
very,
yes.
Very pro-scarf.
Very nice Doctor Who scarf there.
Of course.
That's right. I have this 10-foot Ravenclaw scarf that I knitted several years ago, and it's double thickness, and it's so warm, but it's too warm for most winters around here.
Sure. So northern Pennsylvania, you're the kind of lass that goes out.
The snow belt buckle there.
Yes. Exactly. You'll freeze before you reach the first class. That was, I think, the quote a little bit earlier.
Exactly.
That is fantastic. Wonderful. Okay, so we're here. You are the con chair of Starbase Indy 2016. Hoth is a great answer. We've never gotten it before, by the way.
Hooray.
That's like a new one that I kind of went, Hoth, where do I go with that? Snowballs, that's what we're doing. So tell us about Starbase Indy 2016.
Well, Starbase Indy, for those of you who don't know, is Indy's longest-running Star Trek convention. We are homegrown. We have been around since 1988. We have attendees who have not been on this Earth as long as Starbase Indy has.
That's fantastic.
We've had several different iterations over the years, and just last year we have transitioned to, I guess, my captaincy, or whatever you want to call it.
Chairmanship.
There we go. Yes.
Sure, that's it. Long live the Queen, that kind of thing?
That's right. Well, okay. And not that anything happened to the former Queen. Kim Huff was the con chair for a very long time, and she realized that she wanted to be able to actually enjoy the convention, because here's a little secret. A lot of times the con chair is just going to be a blur running back and forth at the convention, because there are all sorts of things that happen behind the scenes so that you all have a great time and don't notice any hiccups. But so Kim realized she wanted to kind of retire, and we said, well, of course, you deserve to rest on your laurels. But now what? And she said, well, how about you do it? And I said, well, this is a great responsibility, and actually it seriously was a really great honor to be asked to do it, because Starbase is a very precious thing to a lot of people, and it's a great responsibility, and I don't want to crash the ship on my watch, right?
Exactly.
I don't want to be the Counselor Troy joke. But no, seriously, I was really honored to be asked, and so I've taken up the helm. We have a lot of really fantastic staff and volunteers who have put hours, weeks, months of work into this. It's a year-round process, and so that we can bring everybody 3 days of amazing fun.
Wonderful,
yes.
Wonderful. And that is absolutely fantastic to hear. One of the things that I was most surprised at and when I first started doing the podcast is I've gone to conventions. I've gone to Starbase Indy. We moved down here in 88, and it was in 1990 that I attended my first Starbase Indy. And I've been trying as much as I think I've only missed one or maybe two. It doesn't matter. But I love this con. And it wasn't until I started doing a podcast where I had access to people like the Con Chair 2 nights before the con started, which is when we're recording this. I'll put this up. Like, yeah, I'm really surprised that your brain is not tapioca right now, and that they're just like, well, you can't see Melissa right now because she'll just eat anything that gets within arm's reach of her or slam the Samsonite briefcase. I was surprised. I thought, like, well, con chair, I want to be the con chair because I get to run everything. And then I quickly learned as I've begun interviewing con chairs that, like, no, you don't. Not if you want to go to the con. Not if you want to do all the neat things that you're planning. And there is a lot of work. It's very thankless. It's very time and energy intensive. And I like to take a moment to give you guys a mic and give you ladies a mic and say, hey, A, thank you. I love this con. It's one of my favorite of the year. And B, give you an opportunity to talk about whatever you want.
Well, thank you very much. And it does sometimes seem like a thankless job, but for me, the thing that I love the most is seeing people have a great time. I love coming to conventions and watching people get excited and passionate about things. And what better place than a gathering of like-minded individuals to get excited and passionate about Star Trek and all kinds of other sci-fi and fantasy. But this year is kind of a special year for Star Trek. So.
Now, why would you say that, since several of us have changed our Facebook icons and it's the number 50 in the Star Trek logo? I don't know. Melissa, tell us more.
Well, it is the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, if you can believe that.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is, to be honest, between you, me, and the door, I'm surprised that places like Paramount have not done more with that fact.
I was also kind of surprised at that. I mean, you have a lot of the conventions, including the big one in Las Vegas that celebrated everything and anything Star Trek. But I almost still kind of feel that just like way back in the day, getting everybody together and excited about Star Trek is a grassroots thing. And that's kind of what Starbase Indy is. We are a bunch of local folks who are putting on this convention with our own
time
sweat,
and effort,
blood, and
yeah,
tears.
Exactly.
But we want it to be wonderful. And over the years, Starbase has actually grown to encompass other genres and fantasy genres and things like that. But because this is such a special year for Star Trek, we wanted to sort of get back to our roots, as it were, and focus on celebrating 50 years of Star Trek. And what better way to do that than get some guests who had things to do with every series of Star Trek. Well, maybe
cool.
Technically not the animated series, but
we get what you're going there. And
exactly.
that's really, really interesting. Tell me a little bit about the guests then.
Well, the one that I think everybody is going to be really surprised to meet is from the original series. Her name is Sandy Gimple. She is a stunt performer, and she was in the very first episode of Star Trek. Actually,
cool.
On both technicalities, she was in the pilot and she was in the Man Trap. She was the salt vampire.
Oh, yes. That's awesome.
And she is still performing today. She is still doing things. She is just so fun, and I think everybody's going to be really excited to meet her.
That's cool.
We also have Mark Okrand, who is, for those of you who are aficionados of the Klingon language, the linguist who invented the Klingon language, among other alien languages, of course.
We're very, very, I'm psyched about that one.
Yes.
That's one of the ones that caught my eye.
We also have Larry Nemechek, who is probably the most knowledgeable person I think I've ever encountered on all things Star Trek. He has written a couple of books, the Star Trek TNG Companion. Oh, nice. He has appeared on some DVD commentaries. He has probably interviewed just about everybody there is to interview about Star Trek as well. And he is going to be here talking about all of that and doing some special programs, and that's just going to be an awful lot of fun. Moving forward in the Star Trek timeline, or at least the the series air date runtime.
Sure, let's be careful about timelines. I get
Yes,
you.
exactly. Well, from Deep Space Nine, we have Chase Masterson, who is just a lovely, lovely human being. She is so friendly and kind and a champion for anti-bullying campaigns, amongst many other things.
Oh, yeah.
Very talented. She's going to be singing at our Dinner with the Stars.
Oh,
there are
so
still
cool.
tickets left, at least as of today, so...
Nice.
Come
Let's
and get
we'll
those.
get it. Go out there to the store, hook
That's
it up.
right. And from Voyager, we have Garrett Wong.
Garrett Wong, yes.
Who is also an awful lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Enterprise, we have Dominic Keating.
Nice.
Yes.
Which is totally cool.
Yes, and so this is going to be a really fun lineup. And then, of course, we also have our performers, our performing guests. Our MC, once again, is the lovely Moxie Ann Magnus.
Lovely.
And we will have 5-Year Mission
That's cool.
performing Indy's very own Star Trek rock band,
Oh, yes.
who have actually performed all over the place now. They are pretty big in the Star Trek world as it is. They've performed at the Vegas convention twice as their house band.
Oh, nice.
They have done performances at the Adler Planetarium.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're right here from Indianapolis. We have this wonderful little Star Trek treasure here.
Oh, yeah.
And then we also have the Yavin 4, which...
the Star Wars band.
The Star Wars band.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we are going to have a battle of the bands
Oh, that's
between
so
them.
cool.
So perhaps we will determine once and for all, Star Wars or Star Trek.
I don't think we're going to determine.
You're only going to find out if you
Yeah,
come.
you got to show up to figure that one out. That's absolutely right.
That's right.
absolutely
And
right.
then we also have a special cosplay guest, Mog Shell, who is also an Indianapolis local.
Yes.
And she has also kind of not grown up with the convention, but she has been with us for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
She has been on our staff, and it's so cool to see her being known for all of the
and what she does,
cosplay and all the
yeah.
wonderful things that she does outside of our little
Yeah.
bubble.
Oh, yeah. And that's, we've got one of our steady hosts is a gentleman by the name of Rico, and he is all about the cosplay. So on Saturday from 4 to 6, they got the Masquerade Ball. We're gonna Periscope that. We're gonna get that out, and he's gonna want to be sitting front and center. Come down, still get your tickets, and be live is a better thing than video. But we want people in the seats if we can get them, folks. That's what we're talking about, and we're very, very happy to advertise and do what we can. Who else? You got anything else? I'm going to keep going. No,
Yeah,
I'm going to keep going until Melissa drops.
Yeah.
That's not the best thing, is it? No.
Well, that is our guest lineup,
Nice.
but it's not just about the guests, because Starbase Indy is all about the experience, and we want people to have a fantastic experience. So, of course, we have a wonderfully curated dealer's room with all sorts of different vendors selling all sorts of different things. We have programming like you wouldn't believe. We've got family programming. We have panels. We have concerts. We have room parties.
Well, and I went through the pocket guide, and I went, ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, I want to go to that. Ooh, I want to go to that, too. And I found like 6 things, and I'm not going to be able to go to them all because there's stuff that I really, really want to do.
You need a time turner,
That's
of
part of
course.
it. I do. If I could get one of those, I would be. If you have a vendor that has one of those, I'm in. I will, any price. And then I can do it all. I can do the whole convention like all at one time. That would be, as long as I don't run into myself, I'm fine. It would all be good. From there, we've got all the events. We've got all of the things. We've got movie premieres and trailers, and there's all kinds of stuff. Friday afternoon at noon.
At noon, at the door, tickets go on sale.
Woohoo! And then all the way up through Sunday at 4, I do believe. Correct?
That's correct. That's when all of the programming ends. So you'll want to actually, if you're coming just for Sunday, you'll want to actually come a little bit earlier so you can check out all the fun things that we have.
Absolutely. And there's cosplay, and there's people, and there's
celebrity
events,
Q&As.
And it's all over the place. And I'm going to get some autographs this weekend, and it's going to be wonderful. I'm very pleased. Melissa,
be
for
so
all
exciting.
of us fans that like to show up to events like this, we say thank you.
You are so very welcome.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, one more time this weekend, November 25th through November 28th, 9th, 10th, November 58th,
7th.
November 27th. I'm going to stay. They're going to have to kick me out. They're going to be like, it's time to go home now. And I'm like, well, can I stay one more day? And they're going to say no. And then I'll have to leave. And it'll be okay. But I'll be sad, but I'll be happy.
But then it'll be the anticipation for next year.
Exactly. Then you're like, oh, we're going to do it again next year. Melissa, we thank you. Starbase Indy this weekend, November 25th to the 27th. Indianapolis, Indiana at the Wyndham West Hotel. Come out, join us, engage in some trek, live long and prosper. We can't wait to see you. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
And as always, you'll hear from us real soon. Bye-bye.